The King with Dirty Feet, as told by Rob Cleveland, illustrated by Tom Wren. Once upon a time, there lived a good king who was respected throughout the land. The king had a problem. He didn't like taking baths. It had been a year since the king's last bath, and he had begun to stink. He smelled horrible from the top of his head to the tips of his toes. Though his subjects loved him, no one wanted to be around him. No longer able to stand his own odor, the king realized something must be done. He called his faithful servant to his side.
"Gomer, I smell awful," said the king.
"Yes, your majesty," replied Gomer.
"I think I should take a bath,"
said the king.
"Yes, your majesty,"
agreed Gomer.
"a nice long one."
The king and his servant walked down to the river. Gomer carried the royal bath towel, the royal bath brush, the royal soap, and, of course, the royal rubber ducky. As word traveled quickly throughout the land that the king was taking a bath, a crowd gathered at the river to cheer on the king. The king bathed for 3 hours. When the king finished drying himself with the royal bath towel, he noticed his feet were covered with dust.
"Oh," said the king, "I must have forgotten to wash my feet."
The king waded into the water and washed his feet. But when he got out of the water, his feet were again covered with dust.
"Every time I step out of the water, my feet get dirty. If I cannot keep my feet clean, I will never take another bath," said the king.
"Don't worry, your majesty. I will think of a way to keep your feet clean," said Gomer. He scratched his head and thought. When something was dirty, you swept the dirt away. "That's what we'll do." Gomer told all the people to sweep the dust and dirt away. Everyone swept and swept and swept. There was so much dust in the air that the king could not even see the river.
"This will never do. Think of something else, or I will never take another bath,"
repeated the king. Gomer scratched his head and thought. When something is dirty, you clean it with water. "That's what we'll do." Gomer told all the people to wash the dirt away. Everyone filled buckets and poured water on the ground. The dirt turned to mud.
"This will never do. Think of something else, or I will never take another bath,"
said the king again. Gomer scratched his head and thought, "We can't sweep all the dirt away, and we can't wash all the dirt away with water. Maybe we can cover the dirt." Gomer told all the people to get needles and thread and leather. Everyone stitched leather patches together to cover the ground. This time, when the king stepped out of the water, his feet stayed clean.
"Very good, Gomer,"
said the king.
"My feet are nice and clean."
Then the king looked around. Everything was covered with leather.
"Where are all the flowers and trees and houses? This will never do,"
said the king. Gomer scratched his head and thought, but he could not think of another solution. While Gomer was thinking, an old man walked up to him with a pair of scissors and some thread. Then the old man whispered in the servant's ear. Smiling, Gomer asked the king to stand still, where he carefully cut the leather all around the king's feet. Then he tied one leather piece to each foot. Gomer told the people to pull the leather away, leaving the king standing there with the leather pieces under his feet.
"This is wonderful," said the king upon taking a few steps. "Now my feet will stay clean after I take my bath. What a wonderful idea you had, Gomer."
"It was not my idea, your majesty. It was his." Gomer pointed to the old man.
"What can I do to reward you?"
asked the king. With a twinkle in his eye, the old man said to the people, "You can all go about your business and stop making so much fuss. Go home now. Shoo! I said shoo!" Gomer smiled at the king, and the king smiled at Gomer.
"In honor of this wise man," announced the king, "these will be called shoes, and I think everyone should have them, so their feet will stay clean."
Thank you for listening to Storytime with Gargi. Like and subscribe down below.